Catty Connie and loudmouth Linda, keeping it real, no agenda. Satire, truth, and a whole lot of fun. Politics, crime, we get it all done. From breaking news to a joke or two, we do it our way just for you. We just can't make this stuff up. 1 year strong and we ain't gonna stop. Mic in hand, voices loud, shouting truth, making you proud.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good evening. Right?
What color on today? We got the
I
same-
know, look. I think mine has butterflies on it.
Oh, okay.
Or is that a butterfly? I don't know what
Yeah,
that
they're
is.
butterflies.
I don't know.
We had the same shirt on.
Yeah, well, I think I have that shirt.
That's why I thought
I think I have that shirt.
that would have been funny.
Yep. Great minds think alike.
Totally.
So, I guess we can talk about how the CFO, the creative freak-off manager, put a nail in Diddy's coffin today.
Who did?
The CFO of Diddy's thing.
And the CFO of BBE.
Yeah, the CFO of Bad Boy Records.
No,
Recording.
Enterprises.
Yeah, what is it? Bad Boy Recording and Films.
That's Revolt.
Films.
It's Revolt. It's TV and films.
Uh-huh.
You know what's funny is, through the course of this, they said he was shutting that down. But I'm almost positive I saw a commercial for Revolt the other day.
Oh, is that his filming industry? Is the Revolt one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
and his liquor, his vodka is
Rock.
the Rock,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he has a tequila too.
Well, and the Ciroc deal, didn't he have to? They bought him out, or something happened to his liquor part. What are you doing?
I think there was a discrepancy somewhere with that.
And the guy in Colorado got a $10 million bond.
They didn't just shoot him?
Well, I mean, no, they didn't just shoot him. This is America, where you get a trial, whether you're proven innocent or whatever.
Right.
You can say you did it, but you have the right to have a fair trial. Whether you say, "I want everyone gone,"
Mhm.
and I would do it again if I had a chance.
There were people, the J6ers didn't get that.
No, they didn't.
Mm-mm.
In fact, some of them didn't even get a trial.
Mm-hmm.
One guy spent 4 years in there and didn't get to trial one time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's insane.
He probably didn't even get to talk to an attorney.
I mean,
It's
don't know.
it's totally fascinating.
I don't know, but the rumors are floating out there that they think Jane is KK.
Well, if we want to compare the Diddy case to what would have been the Epstein case that never got to go,
She's
KK is Jolene Maxwell.
Yep. That's a lot of people are saying that.
equivalent or
Yes.
Yep. The equivalent. Yep. A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it. I mean, she better hope that she flipped and she's not going to appear for Diddy, because the prosecution will eat her alive.
Oh, big time. They've already said she did this and she did that, just like they did with Jolene Maxwell.
Right.
Whatever her name is. Crazy ass woman.
You don't hear anything about her anymore.
No, because after her trial, she went to prison and she's sitting in prison. So we can give her and KK a cell together. They could be cellmates,
Mm-hmm.
and they could sit there and they could talk
Talk
about
about how great their bosses were.
yeah, and they could sit there and per- compare notes on all the things they did, right?
Sick. Sick women. Sick.
It is. It is.
Sick. Except
Caitlin,
for I think Epstein paid his employees a little bit more.
oh yeah. Oh, you can count on it. You
Yeah.
know the guy. You know the guy that he called Angel.
Yeah.
You're my angel. Okay, so you know the video with Cassie in the hotel. Diddy bribed the supervisor of
Period.
security 50K to get rid of that tape.
And he didn't.
And he did.
Oh, he did.
The supervisor did. Now the other guy recorded it off of his phone and had the recording on his phone. But he thought that that was the only copy there was the one that the supervisor supposedly got rid of.
And he paid out $100,000 because he thought, he would give a little extra money instead of the 50,000.
Mm-hmm. That's what
And
I'm
this dumb fool turned around and gave his boss 50,000, kept 30,000, and gave somebody else 20,000. It's like, what are you, stupid?
Well, the boss was the one that wanted the 50K in the first place. So he had no choice but to give the boss the 50. But I don't know why he brought that other guy in and gave him 20. He could have had the other 50 for himself. I mean,
Hush money. Keep them quiet.
right?
That's all I can think of.
Kept him quiet. Is he going to testify? Is he got immunity, that guy that got the 20,000?
I don't know, but I know he got immunity
And he got a new car.
in a new car.
And he paid cash.
Oh, he said he bought a used car.
Oh yeah, bull. 30,000. Well, it must have been a really good used car for 30,000 in cash. Can you imagine? Couldn't have been too old. Wow. And then a couple years later, after he saved Diddy's life he goes, oh my God, you're my angel, my Eddie Angel. Diddy called him Eddie Angel, you're my angel. And then Eddie called him and said, do you have a job for me in security? And Diddy never got back with him.
Yeah, he told him, if you ever need anything, man,
Right? If you ever need anything, just give me a call. I'll get you whatever you need.
Nope.
We all need friends like
Okay,
that.
Hey, KMM. Yeah. Yeah. How about that? And then when you need a job because you've lost your job, he goes missing.
And how about him getting paid? I wonder if he still has his job.
You know what I'm thinking? Now let's see. We could put this together here. So when Cassie sued the hotel for $10 million, right? Do you want to bet that he lost his job about that time?
Maybe.
You know, they said, you know what? The freak off demon paid you off and you got rid of the evidence. And I wonder if the supervisor has a job. We haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah, but maybe nobody knew there was a payoff for that video because obviously it wasn't the only one. So Diddy thought it was the only one. So that could have been like hush, hush, quiet, nobody knows nothing. And now, bada boom, bada bing.
Well, you know how that all came about. I'll tell you how that all came about. The guy that went upstairs, the security guy that faced Diddy was the one that went upstairs and recorded it on his iPhone, right? And he was off a couple days, and then he went back to look for it, and it was gone. So, is that guy Israel Flores?
No.
Okay, well, that's the one that he paid $20,000 was Israel Flores. So
Right.
what did he have to do with anything?
Oh, I'm not sure who Flores is. I think he might have been the security guard.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he said he never got any money for it.
We got 20,000 now that we know. He got 20,000, and Diddy had his own cash counter at his house, and he paid them all in cash, and it just counted that 100,000 right there in front of him, like you do at the bank.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
He did it in lots of 10,000. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000,
Can you
10,000.
imagine having that kind of money? How big was that paper sack? Because he said he got it in a paper sack.
Well, it depends on if it was new money or not. If it was new money, it would fit in a paper bag.
$100 bills.
$100 stacks of 10,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So if it was new bills,
It'd be nice and neat and
mm-hmm. But they haven't even gotten to the fact that he had cash everywhere. And I'm sure it wasn't recorded. You know what I mean? It wasn't recorded on his books.
Isn't that
They
crazy?
said they think that they brought Ferguson in only to corroborate the $20,000 that he extorted from her mom and dad, because it came in.
Yeah.
He gave Cassie 20. This is what's so weird.
That whole thing was weird.
He gave Cassie $20,000. A week later, he got $20,000 from her parents.
Yeah. 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 And then he supposedly gave it back.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we have any receipts showing that he gave it back.
I don't even think they ever asked Regina that.
I don't think they ever. No, I don't remember that question ever being asked either. They just all of a sudden said that it was given back. So was it?
so they were. You guys are watching the trial or listening to the trial? Or?
Yeah. Inner City Press goes through it just like it's like you're there, except you have to read it. So yeah, it's time by time.
How many more days is this thing going on?
Well, we are in. It's been a month. Can you believe that?
Tomorrow will definitely be interesting.
And that lady that stood up, did you? Okay, so I was watching some of the YouTubers. There's 3 YouTubers that are getting in trouble for telling Mia's real name because she's going to AKA Mia and she didn't want her real name out there.
Right.
And now her real name has gone out to the public. And they're saying it's these YouTube people. And so they're getting in a lot of trouble.
Those are federal charges.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. And then, so, yeah. But the lady that stood up in the back of the courtroom and screamed, Diddy, they're going after you, these MFers.
Free Diddy.
And they handcuffed her.
Free Diddy.
And they handcuffed her and took her outside and took the handcuffs off.
Like free Palestine, they're going to free Diddy.
Yeah. Well,
Freedom of, what's the word I'm looking for?
freedom of speech.
That's it.
Well,
Why
I
don't
kept wanting to say speak.
Do you have that freedom of speech in a courthouse, in a federal courthouse? I don't know. Maybe.
you're held in contempt.
Well, see, that's the thing. Her jumping up and being like that, she should have been held in contempt, but they didn't. They just let her out so
Right.
she could wander around with all the other people.
All the other crazy.
She was crazy. Did you see her? She was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the people that are getting paid $20 an hour to wear their free Diddy shirts. Diddy's paying them.
Mm-hmm.
Easy money. I don't think I want that on my shirt. I don't want Diddy pay me anything. I want him to
I wouldn't wear a shirt. I wouldn't even wear.
Was the name of his on there? So yes, and then back to the Boulder thing. So this guy, they're going to give him a fair, and he's an illegal,
Hmm.
and he's and they haven't said anything about his family. Are they illegal too? They must be if he is.
Who?
That guy over there, that Mohammed Solomon or whatever, that in Boulder, that
Oh,
is he. He's illegal.
right.
So is his family illegal?
I would say at least the wife.
Well,
Yeah, and his well,
he
and then
overstayed a visa. Is that right?
yes, and then he said that he claimed sanctuary or whatever because he didn't want to go home in fear for his life. We didn't
He
see
probably just got his green card anyway from the government for testifying.
right. Oh,
Right.
good to know, KMM. Good to know. I was curious. Well, there you go. There's the answer to my question.
Yay.
Good. Good. And they can send him right back with them too, because from what I understand, you go back to those kind of places, they just put you down.
Like a dog.
Yep. Yep. I mean, the Chinese won't even take their own back right now.
Right.
So I don't know what you're supposed to do with him then.
Right.
Yeah. It's insanity at its best.
It
I'm
is.
telling you.
It
You
is.
know? And so we have Jane Doe, whoever she is, and she's going to do her witnessing of.
She'll be on the stand until Monday, guys. Monday morning.
Did I understand? Yeah. Yeah, for prosecution, right?
Mhm.
And here's my thing. Did I understand they were going through the weekend?
No.
They're having the weekend off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So she's going to be what does she need? That's a long time. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
She was involved in the freak offs.
The CFO Ferguson said she was.
And he said he never saw anything.
Oh, come on.
He
He
said he
was
never saw anything. He never saw bullying. He never saw coercion. He never saw prostitution. He never saw beatings. He never saw anything.
Oh, well, yeah. And did you see where they asked him, so would you say that Diddy's a good man? And he went, uh, I
Right.
can't answer that.
Right.
You never saw anything. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You
Right.
can't testify as a good man, but
Yeah. So you just perjured yourself. Um, I don't know. That's a good question, KMM. I don't know.
we don't know because we don't even know who Jane Doe is.
Right. Right.
Is Jane Doe KK like what Linda said? Or, well, I don't know because KK never did any freak offs, did she?
No. No. So I don't think it is KK.
Okay, well, there you go. You're probably right. So, see, we were talking about how long all of this had gone on, and if it had expired, if his federal charges, I don't know why they're even bringing up this stupid pardon thing because it's not going to happen, but the state can pick it up.
What do you mean?
The state could pick up this same case and he could be pulled up on state charges. And then the federal, because see, the president can only pardon on federal cases,
Right.
which is never going to happen. I don't know why I have to keep hearing
There's
this.
no way. There's no way that Trump would do something like that. There's just no way.
I just don't see
For
him.
people to bring it up is just stupid.
Right.
Right.
It is stupid.
Right.
He-
And then you got 50 Cent out there saying, I will make sure he spends the rest of his life in jail. I will personally talk to Trump.
Right. So see, there you go.
Yeah.
I just don't think Trump wants to be get his hands dirty. And you know, his MAGA base would turn on him.
Exactly. That's where I was going. His
Yeah.
his MAGA would no.
No,
No.
they would turn on him.
Yep. They would. I mean, he is a known SA person and
Demon
abusive. And abusive.
and abusive, and the racketeering and the
Mhm.
RICO, and you know,
You know,
the money laundering is probably going to come into.
and this is one thing I want to say. Excuse me. You know, when people get to that point, it's really sad because he could have done so many good things with the money and the feelers that he had. He could have done so many good things for inner city kids. He could have done so many things for the schools. He could have done so many good things instead of getting stupid, greedy, and high on himself.
Right, right,
And that's sad. That is sad that as soon as you start accumulating that kind of money, that you turn into an animal.
right, right. There's a lot of rumors out there. This isn't going to happen either. He's not going to pardon Derek Chauvin. He's just not going to mess with it. I just don't see him
No, he's
messing
not.
into this. But, you know, I'm with Linda today. I was looking at a bunch of the YouTube, and they said that Jaguar had testified
Oh, I know.
and Gene Deal
Right.
testified. No,
Right.
they didn't. No, they
Vaughn
didn't.
testified.
No, they didn't. They did not testify.
No,
You know,
no.
but
But
that
there's people out there that believe everything on the internet. It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe they were deposed.
hey,
Who
Wolfie,
knows? Hi, Wolfie. Maybe they were deposed.
yeah, I
But how
don't
do
know.
we know that?
I don't think they've testified at all. You know, Jaguar, right? They would have her on the stand for about 4 days too.
Yeah.
And you know, and nah, no, it hasn't happened.
Does
You don't
Jaguar
know.
have any kids?
Yeah, I think she's got a son.
Where is Jaguar right now?
Oh, she's out there talking.
Is she?
She's been online quite a bit. Yeah. No, she's out there, but she didn't testify. No,
Mm.
no. Or she hasn't yet. Whether she does or not, I don't know. And you know, the thing is I think hers is all, she knew Diddy all prior, right? Hers was all prior to all of this 2009 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, they said there was 190 people testifying. She may be one of them.
Well, there's not 190 people testifying
No.
because they're almost done.
Yeah. They had enough people
Right.
to put the nails in his coffin.
Right. And if the defense didn't stall, they probably could have gotten more people to testify.
Do I think that Jaguar is credible? I think that she's telling stories that are probably true, but blowing them up a little bit, maybe adding a little color to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that she knows what she's talking about. I think that Jay-Z is all involved in this, and I think that Beyonce is too. I don't, I want to believe her. There's
Right.
a part of me that wants to believe her and believe what she's saying is true.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But some of the things that she tells, it's like, how did it go on like that?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Mm-hmm.
How did it go so far, and how did it go so long?
Right.
And like I said, I want to believe everything she has to say. That's like Gene Deal. He was with Diddy too all of that time.
Right.
But he's not testifying because the freak off started apparently after Gene Deal. I don't know if that's true or not either.
I don't think so.
Because didn't that Meek Mill's thing come out, that video with Meek Mill's in the swimming pool that they were talking about, that he had just done their thing with Meek Mill's? Wasn't Gene Deal the one that talked about that?
I think so.
That was standing outside the door during the time or something? I don't know. But I think he knows more about things than he's saying too. And he may just have immunity and refusing to testify.
From what I understand, Deal wanted to testify, and Bond said he would testify. So, do they? How many people do they need to say Diddy beat on women? I mean, how many people do they need to say that?
No,
Now they're trying to get into the money laundering and
right.
all of that. So
The
I
bribery.
think after Jane, that's the end of that whole synopsis.
Right. And then you're getting into where Bad Boy Records was just a corporation and he bribed people with it.
Yeah.
He bribed people to, that he bribed the LA cop. We already know that, because how did that he had fingerprints when Diddy's little minion went over and blew up this guy's car with a Molotov cocktail.
Right.
There were fingerprints, and those fingerprint cards disappeared. And it was an LA cop that told him to get rid of them.
Right.
So, Diddy paid him off too.
Right.
Diddy bribed and paid off everybody.
Yeah, he sure did.
Where'd it get him?
And that's what I'm saying, is that he could have been such a person that, because on the stand, a lot of the witnesses were black, and they said that he opened the ceiling for black people.
I know, I heard that too.
And, okay, no, he didn't. But the point is that you could have done so much for your culture.
Yeah, if you were a freak off demon, vampire.
Right. If you weren't a sex addict and an idiot that just let power go to his head.
Control freak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I'm above the law. I can just pay people off. Diddy sued that liquor company.
Croc. He did.
For $200 million, and he won.
So where's all this cash now? Oh, that's why they said he's almost a billionaire.
Well, they said that just got settled not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he got the money yet.
Did he say?
They said that if he gets found guilty, he has to forfeit that money.
He said, excuse me, can you make the check out to Janice Combs, please?
Right.
Make it out to Janice Combs Music, INC.
Right.
With all the rest of his money.
Mm-hmm.
That he thinks he's hiding.
Right.
His mom. He's put everything in his mom's name, and he's keeping cash in his house, and he's working with only cash.
Trying to do the Biden thing, give it to everybody in the family except for him.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe that's where he learned it.
Did you hear his son Christian? It was Christian.
Uh-huh.
He got sued from American Express for $17,000.
Yes, I did. He did
his American Express. Daddy's a billionaire, and you can't pay an American Express.
He did. He drug his own mom into. He did. And they're going to take all that money from her. She's going to lose. If she had any money of her own, she won't have any now.
But that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. They put it in family members' names.
To hide it. They think they're hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't that what Biden did?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, that's basically what Biden did.
Mhm.
Yep.
He took all the money and put it in his brother's name and his granddaughter's name and his everybody's name, and all of the Biden family is extremely rich. And there you go. How about that? And he thinks he's hiding that money too. And that's not going to happen if they ever bring him up on charges or whatever. Who knows where that's going to go? That's another one. That's another sticky mess. Are they just going to forget about it and just let Hunter go? That's another monster that should have never been let go. You know, his head's probably blown up because he thinks that he's all that now. He got away with everything. You know, when these people get away with stuff like that and they walk free and they never do any time and they never do anything for their crime, it just inflates the monster bigger. So if Hunter thinks he got away with what he got away with,
It was pardoned.
he'll show up again. He'll show up again. Because I can't imagine him not doing, you know, I just can't. Look at this.
He's not a happy baby right now.
Look.
Look at his face. He's up there screaming and crying.
I'm mad. I'm so mad. I'm
Mhm.
just mad. Excuse me, just for a second.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh, thank you. We'll see where this all goes. Um, I can't wait to hear Jane Doe, even though I really don't want to keep hearing about freak offs and beating women. But hopefully, this is the last one.
See, I know nothing about anything you ladies are talking about.
Yeah.
Just from what I hear y'all talking about it, it's like this guy was a sick man.
Oh
And
my God. He was horrible. He
he's,
was horrible,
he's still
Clyde.
trying to say this was done in my property, privacy of my own home, and I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. Or
Yeah, you can't treat humans like that, though.
no.
You know?
And
Sorry. Mom was right here.
Mom wants to go with you.
Yeah, because she wants to get out of the house.
Yeah,
Look,
he was a very sick man.
look. I'm a gymnast.
Knocked me over.
Oh, well, okay, there you go.
I think they're going to bring charges against KK.
I do too. I think that KK is going to do time like Jolene Maxwell. I think that's what's going to happen to her. She's going to have her own court case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so.
but he is. He's a very, very sick man, and he's a demon. And his sons are not. You know, I heard that King Combs is just about as bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, the only one that was in court today was Justin and his mom. Justin Combs and Diddy's mom.
She has
That's all
number,
that was there.
she has number 2 in the pecking order. Yep.
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 And I bet she's probably sitting there thinking, you know, I'm clean, free and clear here. No,
you're
baby
not.
girl.
Nope. And they're not offering you immunity. Do you notice that?
Nah, right. Exactly.
It's like, no, we're going to take you down right along with him, just like we did Josephine Maxwell. You're going down with him.
She knew. I mean, everybody has said she knew. She can't get on that stand and lie.
Well, you know, Whoopi, I'm going to tell you, his mom that probably made her feel really good, because if her name gets brought however it's brought up, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
I don't think his mother's such a lily white person.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, from what I understand, she ran a brothel. So
she was a teacher.
Well, I heard she ran a brothel.
She was a teacher in the in
What
Harlem.
did she teach?
in Harlem. I'm not sure. Which I heard that she was a teacher in Harlem and something else.
And ran a brothel.
I don't know.
Because Diddy used to go around bragging about how she could put both hands on the floor at the same time.
Well, she could have been limber too.
Well, there you go.
You know,
There you go. He was all excited about it.
if she was married to Diddy's dad,
And Melvin was a piece of work. They said that he used to have freak out things too. So who knows?
right? Is it just rumors? Is it conspiracy theories, or is it fact? That
We'll never know.
depends on what story you read.
We'll never know. They don't have any receipts on all that.
Right.
Right. Don't you think that put him in jail?
Sure.
Don't you think that we're wasting taxpayers' money? Actually, you think we're wasting taxpayer money, but when they confiscate all the money that he owns,
But the thing is, us taxpayers aren't going to get any money back.
no, but it'll go back to the government that they spent the money, our taxpayer money, so it just goes right back into the government again.
And it goes back into the shitty pockets of people.
Right. And how much is he paying for his defense? Who's not
10
doing?
million.
And they're not even doing a good job.
No. Mm-mm. No.
No.
They're just going through the motions at this part.
Oh, yeah. You know what? They did. She had an IV drip because she was dehydrated.
Who?
The mom.
When?
They showed it that they did IVs together, him and Diddy. It was a recording.
Oh.
And that was the video where he kissed his mom on the mouth
Oh.
in front of everybody.
I never saw any of that.
But then you know what I heard? That family was real dysfunctional, and there was a lot of incest going on there too. So I mean, break the cycle there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
After a freak off, see that's what I remember too, Woofy. It was after a freak off that mom had to have an IV.
I don't know. I never heard that, but that's disgusting.
Oh, well, it was the freak off manager, the CFO, Ferguson, that had it all, the creative and marketing manager that had that one going. That's what he called himself. Not the freak off manager. He called himself the marketing and creative and
For Revolt.
Yeah.
Because when he left the job of CFO, he became CEO of Revolt.
Now, isn't that something?
Mm-hmm. He worked for Diddy for almost 20 years. Ferguson.
Well, Ferguson was actually the one that basically showed the racketeering and the money laundering and everything else. And he had his name on every one of those accounts that he could take money out.
And he actually texted Diddy the day Diddy got arrested that night. He texted him and asked him, has the feds been asking around? Have they contacted you? And blah, 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 blah. And he never replied, and Diddy got arrested that night.
No, Ferguson did an immunity deal. Most of these people have done an immunity deal, or they wouldn't be up there even saying anything. They'd be keeping their mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they can get these people to testify.
Yeah.
Because they're just as guilty. Well, not quite as guilty
Some
as
of them.
they, but they would be standing some charges. And no,
Right.
no. They thought, we'll forego all of the charges as long as we can get the head guy, and that's who they're after. And I don't think KK is going to walk either. She's going to be in trouble too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's like
there's no way they can let her get away with all of that.
No.
There's no way.
No. It can't happen.
Mm-mm.
And tomorrow is who?
Tomorrow is Jane.
Oh, that's right. Jane Doe's coming in, and she's going to take over till Monday. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. That'll be really
Yeah,
interesting.
they're putting very strict guidelines for her. Hi, Sandy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're making very strict guidelines for her.
Well, they're out there screaming Mia's name.
Right, right.
And did you ever hear what Mia's real name was?
Yes.
What was it? Oh, well, you don't have to tell me. You can tell me later because I never even heard it.
Her first name was Sarah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So she was really not anyone that was real popular.
She was an employee,
Oh, well, yeah, she was an employee.
and he essayed her 4 times.
Right, but she wasn't like a celebrity.
No,
No. Okay. All right.
no. She
Okay.
wasn't a celebrity. She was just an employee.
We're not saying it, Wolfie. We don't know it. I don't know it. So
Yeah, we're not saying it because I don't
we
want
don't know it.
it brought against me.
Yeah. But that's crazy that they were doing that out there. She is now. Oh yeah, she's a celebrity now. Everybody knows her. They all know her name. Well, Jane Doe,
What
they
if
won't know her
she
name.
said she was going to take that to the grave? So does that mean that her family never knew and now they all know?
Yeah.
That's sad if that's the case.
Yep. It is very sad that this is what the diddler messed up more lives than you can count.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he's having like anxiety in the courtroom.
Well, he should.
Maybe he'll have a heart attack. And we won't have to worry about it.
No, that would be too easy.
Well, darn. Come on.
That would be an easy way out. And no. Nope.
It would be nice.
Well, yeah.
Thank God for unanswered prayers.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Get the rope.
Right.
I mean, people like that are that bad, there's no way that he can by the time he's not going to walk out of it, he's not going to live to be 90 years old.
No.
So he's never going to walk out of there.
No.
So at that point, and they're never going to give him parole. So why don't we just? This is where I think the death penalty should come in. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about that because sometimes I think that they need to live and suffer through it forever and be tortured. but then sometimes I think no, just go ahead and put him down because I don't want the taxpayers to have to pay for him.
Right. He learned how to laugh today. So
Who's laughing?
the baby learned how to laugh today.
Oh, how cute.
What do you think? Do you think we should have the death penalty?
I do.
I believe it should be, yes.
Yeah. Like the guy that said I did it and I would do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think there's
no remorse.
He has no remorse.
Right.
Nope.
Diddy has no remorse.
Oh no, he doesn't. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't have any
He did
remorse.
nothing wrong.
I mean, the punishment should fit the crime. And
Yep.
people that get a slap on the wrist for assaulting people is just a joke.
It is a joke.
And the people that got money can get off where other people can't.
Right.
Well, to some people, going to prison is a nice thing because they may not have so much out here, so they get three
Right.
squares and a roof over their head, and they don't have to work and whatever.
Right.
But this is downgraded for Diddy.
Well, he had LA police in his pocket, some of them.
Yes, he did.
And
Yes,
it
he
wouldn't surprise me if he didn't have Miami police and New York police.
Oh, no, that wouldn't surprise me either. Not at all.
Nope.
I'll be curious when the money really comes down to it, how much money the man really has after paying everybody off.
I don't think they'll ever say.
You don't think so? You don't think we'll ever know the real truth?
No, no.
You know what? You're right, Woofy. If it was any one of us, they would throw. In fact, they would put me underneath the jail and throw away the key. I
Right.
wouldn't even get to go into a regular jail. I'd be in the ground with no light. They'd have to pipe light to me. I'd be so down
Right.
so far in the jail.
Well,
No,
did did you hear that his attorneys are still complaining that they can't spend enough time with him? So the judge let them, defense attorneys and Diddy, stay in the courtroom until 6 p.m.
well, he wanted to stay. They wanted to stay till 10, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
What do they want to do? Have a party? Here, why don't they just take him out to dinner and have a few drinks? And
Right.
it's unbelievable, guys. It's just unbelievable.
To me, that's shady. I don't know why. I just think it's shady.
50 Shades of Gray.
I think that yeah, I think that the attorneys are trying to pull some shit. I really do because they've already tried to submit evidence and text messages and pictures and other things that they knew they couldn't.
Well, Whoopi, if he tries to make a run for it, they'll just probably. I don't. I don't know if they'd shoot him or not because they want to put him behind bars. But they could. It could happen.
Well, there were supposed to be marshals. I didn't know marshals stayed in the courtrooms.
Well, when it comes to freak off people,
I
he's,
mean,
he's
maybe
a special case.
High profile cases, I can imagine they do.
Yeah, high profile cases. He's a but the one that makes me mad is that Mr. E never got to go on his court case.
yeah.
I would have loved to have been on seen that heard about that court case, but no. And he'd already been to court before and charged for and gotten away with it
Mm-hmm.
one time before. You know?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, the freak off vampire.
I wish I would hear that they're investigating Obama too.
Well, his name keeps getting dropped. His name and Jeffrey's name keeps getting dropped in this case.
So was Obama like,
At the freak off parties.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was name dropped.
They
That
name dropped.
Diddy hung with Obama.
Yeah, he hung with him and he hung
Why
with
he was president or after? Or
We don't know.
it was
because I mean, for him
Probably
to
while he was president.
get president to go to California or wherever these freak offs were,
they were everywhere.
they would have to be. They would have to know he's gone, left the White House.
Well, in
They would
fact, they
have
had
to
a
be-
freak off in an airplane.
There has to be. He just can't get on a plane and go to California without Secret Service and everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
But, Secret Service is sworn to privacy too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, Air Force One just doesn't fly across the country for no reason.
right.
Yeah.
So, from Washington to DC, it's like a 40-minute flight.
Yeah.
Because it only takes 3 hours, I think. It took me to drive from DC to New York, 3 or 4 hours.
Uh-huh. And then it takes 2 hours by flight.
No. I think it would probably, it can't take more than an hour.
By the time you get out of the airport.
You sit there longer waiting for the plane than you are in the air. Because it's one of those things, as soon as they reach altitude, they start dropping back down.
Shoot, now they load you up about a half hour or so before the plane takes off.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Right.
It's insanity. I get to go get my daughter here in a little bit. That was my mama calling. She wants to take a ride. And yeah, she was
We haven't had any news that the flight's delayed. Or,
No, she was getting ready to load up about a half hour ago, and her flight doesn't get here until
you said
for another hour.
into Texas, or
No, she's in Dallas.
she's in Dallas now.
She's in Dallas
Oh,
now.
cool.
Well, that's good.
On a private, yeah, you know what? You're right. Well, if you're on a private plane, you don't go through security. And you know, from what I understand, his plans were to have a freak off, and then he was going to get on his private jet and he was going to get the heck out of Dodge. He
That's
wasn't.
why they arrested him. He was supposed to turn himself in the next day.
Yeah, that he was supposed to turn himself in, but he was planning on leaving town.
Oh,
He had
sure.
his jet all on the tarmac and fueled up and ready to go.
I'm sure.
But he had to have that last freak off.
He tried to get away before they even raided the house. He had his jet on the tarmac because that's where they picked up an employee with cocaine on the jet and the tarmac. They stopped the flight.
Oh, remember that? I remember that.
Yeah.
And that guy, didn't he go to jail for him?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tell you what. Thanks, Cameron. You know what? You're right. I forgot all about that. And that guy is doing time for him.
Yep.
There's a lot of people doing time for the diddler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just got away with all kinds of crap. Unbelievable. It's just
Right.
It just gets deeper and deeper and more unbelievable.
Right.
And more cynical.
Right. But I mean, my question is really, how many more indictments are they going to hand down?
I think there's going to be a lot more than you think. I think he's just the beginning.
Unless they all start screaming and they want immunity, and they'll testify.
Well, he may start singing after they give him his punishment.
Yeah, I thought he would have been singing now.
Well, I think he still thinks. I think in the back of his mind, the man still thinks he's going to get away with it.
Yep.
He does.
Because now he's all hell bent on Trump giving him a pardon. That's not going to happen, Did. Sorry.
No, it's not going to happen. Nope. It's not.
Nope.
You're going to go to jail for a very, very long time. And we will give you more than bread and water if you tell us who was with you. We might give you some rice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you this much. If he gets unalived, we all know it was a hit.
Oh, yeah.
He's too narcissistic to kill himself.
Well, so was Epstein.
Right.
Right, Norm? You're right. It's like that. Like I said on The Sandlot, he's going to jail forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a good place for him. He needs not to be in general population. He needs to sit in a little cell all by himself quietly.
In solitary.
Yeah, for the rest of his life. Because he's already crazy. You can't make him any crazier.
Solitaire will make you crazy.
Well, he's already crazy.
Right. But I'm saying solitaire will make you crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting in a room for how many days with nobody to talk to, no TV, no nothing?
In a turtle suit.
Ugh.
No, I can't. At that point, he may end up hurting himself. But the funny thing is, in solitaire, there's nothing in there for him to hurt himself with.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it.
Right.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And we will be tuning in for the next crazy person after this one, right?
And I'll tell you what, if they put him on suicide watch.
And then the cameras go down.
Right,
And the guards fall asleep at the same time, and there's two of them.
right.
There you go.
Coincidence?
No, it's not. It's not a coincidence. It's like, here,
Mm-mm.
let's take care of you right now. It's the truth. We're just gonna make your life a little shorter. than
Which
you-
I have a feeling. Oh, come on, buddy.
That's good.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Bent his arm the wrong way. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Say, Grandma, I'm mad now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, guys. I hate to cut this and call it a night, but I've got to be at the airport here in just a little bit. So I'm going to say my goodbyes. If you wanted to continue to talk, you can.
No, they don't want to hear a crying baby.
And I will see y'all in the morning around 10 o'clock.
All right, we gotta take a nice weekend. We
Have a
wanna
great night.
Get like on the way out.
Yeah, please like, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe on your way out. Thanks.
From shady news to crime so rough, you already know we just can't make this stuff.